Hey, what is going on, guys? Kova here, and welcome back to another edition of Transfer Gossip. Again, these videos are going to be coming more frequently, so make sure you do subscribe to get all the latest gossip, rumours, whatever you call it. We are hitting it up big time. So starting off, anyway, with a Valencia goalkeeper. Now, obviously, this guy is called Matt Ryan. He spent on loan in Belgium, I think, for Genk. And Brighton are actually the club who wants the Valencia goalkeeper. Now, this guy, I haven't seen too much of him. At the end of the day, he's always been behind like a better goalkeeper as such in Valencia. Obviously, they've had Diego Alves in goal for quite a long time, and he's never really got like his opportunity. I haven't seen, like, as say mentioned, enough of him to like say, yeah, he's could be a good signing or whatever. He just could do with a chance, to be honest. And I think Brighton, they got Stockdale, who obviously done really well last season to get them promoted, but he is prone to mistakes. So I think that's why Brighton want to try and beef up their goalkeeping options. Maybe have both of them playing on like a rotation basis. I don't know. But Brighton are interested in getting Matt Ryan for obviously their Premier League campaign. Next up is Kieran Gibbs. Now, I fully expected this one to happen. You know, the rumours, as soon as Arsenal announced that Kolasinac deal for their new left-back, I was pretty certain that at least either Monreal or Gibbs, or potentially both, could have been on the way out, or at least rumoured to be on the way out. Now, Gibbs, I think he's a decent left-back. I actually rate Gibbs quite highly. I think he is quite good. However, his injury record, a lot like Wilshere, really lets him down. Both of those two, you can't really trust them to be, you know, your first team left back all the time, because the chances are they're going to get injured and be out for a long amount of time. Now, Gibbs has been hit with injuries a lot like Wilshere, and that has been his huge problem. That's why he hasn't nailed down that left back position. Monreal has done a really good job, but obviously Arsenal are now going for Kolasinac, with Monreal probably being a backup. Now, the club's interested in Gibbs. There's 4 clubs, which kind of says, you know, that like he is a decent player. The fact that there's 4 now Premier League clubs interested in trying to get him from Arsenal. Those clubs are Brighton, Newcastle, Watford, and Stoke. All want to try and get Gibbs from Arsenal. I don't know if it'd be a loan deal to permanent, or whether it'd just be straight up permanent for those clubs. But let's be honest, he would improve all of those clubs at the end of the day. Stoke, Peters, yeah, I think Gibbs is probably better for me. Watford, I don't even need to go into. Newcastle, I've got like Hadira, but again, Gibbs is a step up for me, and the same with Brighton. You know, I don't need to go into them. Gibbs will easily get into any of those sides. Next up is Matthias Ginter. Tottenham are keen to sign Ginter for around a £15 million mark. Now, obviously, Borussia Dortmund now got a new manager in. Tuchel's gone, so I think it could be a case of maybe they have a clear out. Maybe they go for like younger players, because that's what the ex-Ajax boss did with Ajax. Obviously, is get them playing with young players, bringing them through. So that might happen at Dortmund as well. And it could see the end of, like, you know, a few players at Dortmund. Ginter could be one of them. And I say Tottenham are ready to make that £15 million move. Next up is De Vrij. Now, this is the alternative, if you will, for Liverpool to Van Dijk. And that is a strange one for me. I don't think, you know, De Vrij, he's always been getting linked with bigger sides, but Lazio have conceded an absolute ton of goals this season. You know, they have scored a lot, but they've also conceded a lot, which, you know, it kind of says like the back four wasn't good enough, and De Vrij was obviously a huge part of that. Liverpool have turned their attention to the Lazio centre-back, as he could be a cheaper option to Van Dijk, and obviously they kind of had to back away from any Van Dijk move because of the fact Southampton weren't really too happy with him. Next up is Idrissa Gueye. Getting linked to the move to Chelsea. Chelsea really want Gueye to partner Kante in their centre-mid position, but Everton do not want to sell. So it could see a case of whether, you know, Chelsea, they're probably going to go in for Lukaku, and I don't know if they want to go in for Gueye as well, but it would cost them a huge amount of money to get Gueye, because obviously he hasn't said he wants to leave. He's got a long-term contract. There's no rush for Everton to try and sell him, whereas Lukaku has admitted he wants to leave. Next up, Tom Holston. West Brom considering a £2 million move at the Hull centre mid. He has got a release clause. If they go down, he can leave for around a £2 million fee, which is relatively cheap. He could turn out to be a decent squad player. He could actually replace Darren Fletcher in that West Brom centre mid. Next up is Alexi Sanchez. Again, getting constantly linked to a move away from Arsenal because of the fact he is down to his last year now. And Bayern Munich are ready to, you know, offer £350,000 per week to try and get Sanchez across to the Bundesliga. Now, as I mentioned this a few episodes ago, Sanchez would be a great replacement for like Robben or Ribéry on either side. You know, they do need to bring in some fresh new wingers to obviously have Coman there as well. to kind of like boost their team a little bit, and Sanchez would really fit the bill there. Speaking of one of the Bayern wingers that may be on the move, is Douglas Costa. Barcelona are actually tempted to make a move for Bayern's Brazil winger, and he's also been linked with a move to PSG as well. Can you imagine PSG having Douglas Costa on one side and Di Maria on the other? That would be absolutely mental. I think Douglas Costa does need to leave. He's kind of got like a stagnated position at Bayern, even with Ribéry and Robben getting a bit older. Next up is a guy called Vrancic. He is currently playing for Darmstadt in the Bundesliga. Norwich is set to sign Darmstadt's Bosnia centre mid for a measly 650k. At the end of the day, he was playing top level Bundesliga football. I know Darmstadt got relegated, but he's got that experience, and I think he could provide a nice little signing for Norwich. Diego Costa's the big one for me. He's been told he can leave Chelsea. He said, he's not wanted anymore, which is absolutely mental. And apparently, obviously, China, I think, will come back in for Diego Costa after this kind of news. I think Chelsea may have got fed up with that link. Diego Costa, I think, kind of tried like pushing a move to try and get that big money move to China. And I think Chelsea have got like kind of fed up with him. They said, you can go. We do not want you anymore, which kind of says Chelsea are going to get that Lukaku deal potentially done. But Diego Costa's getting linked to move to China. And I think AC Milan also want to try and get him. I wouldn't even surprise me if Atletico Madrid get the transfer ban overturned, they also try and get Diego Costa in as well. Next up is Morata. This is also a big one. It was kind of a choice between Diego Costa and Morata for the main story. However, I've gone with Diego Costa. But Morata, Manchester United is set to make a fresh £60 million offer for Morata. And that does not include any potential deal for De Gea. Now, as far as what I'm reading, Real Madrid are not interested in De Gea. Even though I think they should be. They are going to stick with the two goalkeepers that they've got, Keylor Navas and Casilla, backing them up. And that's it, going to be it. They're going to try and get a deal done for Morata, see if he wants to leave. And obviously, Manchester United are leading the way for his signature. Next up is a guy called Roderick Miranda. He is a Rio Ave centre-back. They had a really good season. I think they finished about 5th or 6th in the Portuguese league. And Wolves are set to continue their Portuguese link and sign the Rio Ave defender for $2.5 million, which is a decent amount for a championship side. And hopefully, Wolves can start trying to push up. They've signed a fair few decent players. And if they can get some consistency going, they can hopefully, go towards like a championship promotion place. And finally, we end on a really big one for me and a really disappointing one. This is Ahmed Musa. As you all know, he's set to end his disappointing stay in the Prem with a £17.4 million move to Fenerbahce. Now, I was really looking forward to seeing Musa play in the Premier League. Lots of pace, very, very dangerous, loves to take people on, and it just didn't happen. I'm so disappointed. He kind of got cast away. I haven't seen him in the first team for Leicester for quite a while, unless he's been coming off the bench, and it's just been such a disappointing state in the Premier League. Him and Vardy could have had the most explosive partnership up front, but it just didn't work out, and that is really disappointing for me. So there you go, guys. That is today's rumours. Lots of decent ones. As I say, they will be coming a lot quicker, so we'll include some lower clubs as well. For me, it's obviously Sanchez, Koster, and Morata, but that main one being Diego Costa. Where will he end up? Probably AC Milan, or maybe a last-ditch move to a Chinese club to get lots and lots of money. But there you go, guys. Make sure you do drop a like if you did, and I shall see you in the next one.